up, Dota 2 fans, and welcome to another edition of JDL. That's the Join Dota League Season 4. Why the hell is this announcer on? I'm going to turn this off real quick, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Warriors Please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV. We've got a nice matchup for you today. This is Denial Esports versus xGame Kazakhstan. So really well matched up today here. Dota 2 best YOLO, however, has the odds over at around 61%, 39% in the favor of Denial. Denial, certainly one of the more well-known teams in the Tier 2 scene. The French team going up against the squad from Kazakhstan here. xGame missing Stallcat, so it looks like Tomash will probably play the off lane for them as he is the 3 role, but they may switch around the roles here. Mantis usually playing the 1 though, and that should be pretty stable for them. We'll hop right into the draft here. We see a Broodmother first ban from Denial, so not sure if this is much of a respect ban here, but in the JDL as well as the GG League, we've seen quite a bit of Brood lately, and she can be certainly pretty potent in both the off and safe lanes. So very interesting first ban. Brewmaster, Wisp, going to be banned out from xGame. So two very strong heroes in their own right. Of course, Wisp is just strong, in my opinion, with pretty much any carry or mid lane hero. But either way, they'll pick up the first pick, Ogre Magi for xGame. Very strong hero throughout the mid towards the late game, and does scale pretty well with that Bloodlust. Is for obvious reasons very potent as a roaming support with the Fire Blast Ignite combo. Beastmaster Puck gonna be the 1-2 from Denial. These are heroes that they do run pretty often here, and they're gonna be damn effective with them. We'll see if they elect to put this Beastmaster in the mid lane here. Not something we see all too often, but certainly Puck does do well in the off lane as compared to that BM. BM gonna have to last hit with the wild axes, but they're gonna offer a lot of vision with this Hawk from the Beastmaster, and we'll see how impactful that is on the game hereafter. So Death Prophet gonna be the pickup from the side of xGame, and for obvious reasons very strong throughout the game, and does fall off a little bit past the 40-minute mark, but that Exorcism, a super potent ability there, and will be pretty relevant throughout the game. Puck does do fairly well against this Death Prophet in the mid lane if that's what Denial elects to do, and so perhaps that's what convinces them to put this Beastmaster in the off lane. The phase shift is very effective against the Crypt Swarm spam of the Death Prophet, and that's pretty much her way to harass heroes. Her right click is considerable, but Puck does a little bit better in that department if I recall correctly, and therefore should be a fairly even mid lane matchup. But Puck should certainly find his farm, if from nothing else, using the Illusory Orb to farm here. Viper, Centaur, Razor bans from Denial Esports here, so they ban a very strong offlaner in the Centaur, who does couple pretty well with the Ogre, especially if you finish off that trio with a Skywrath Mage, and they're all very good to synergize with the Death Prophet. They are able to initiate onto the opponent and allow the Death Prophet to close the distance and begin to make work happen with that Exorcism pop. We'll see the Drow and the Enigma bans from xGame. Interesting to see an Enigma ban, not something I've seen banned all too often. Enigma a little bit situational in this meta. The Tidehunter Ravage ult is often more coveted by most of these teams, and of course the Brewmaster Primal Split as well, which has already been removed from the pool by xGame. But Denial gonna pick up a Lycan here, so presumably this will be Joral on the Lycan in the 1 position, and we may see, I'm not sure that, I guess Saksha isn't playing with the squad currently, so Creo J gonna be standing in with fucking Mad on the 4 and 5 positions, and Funzy gonna be playing in the mid with probably what we'll see as Paris in the off lane. It'll be interesting to see how they use these roles. I know Saksha isn't here, usually does play the off lane for Denial, so it'll be interesting how they arrange their team to hero comp here. Either way, still into the draft here, folks. We do have xGame eating quite a ways into their reserve time, and they're going to pick up the AA here, so does synergize pretty well with that Ogre Magi. He's got that Ice Vortex, magic damage, amplification. As you can see, scales pretty darn well. Even at level 1, does 15% amplification on that magic damage outputted by the ogre. So the Fire Blast doing extra work. AA also very good in lane with the Chilling Touch, does have fairly decent range early on as well. So potent roaming combo as well as defensive tri-lane combo here for xGame. All three cores, it seems, picked up for Denial, but it actually looks like it may be a support Beastmaster for them here. Very greedy lineup thus far. Nature's Prophet is the fourth pickup for Denial Esports. xGame going to respond instantly with a Faceless Void. So very intriguing lineup from xGame. Faceless Void making it through this deep into the draft is uncommon to say the least, and it for obvious reasons does synergize well with the Exorcism if he's able to Chronosphere the enemy, leaving his allied Death Prophet out of that Chronosphere. Again, it pairs well with the Ice Blast from the AA, and the Chilling Touch even does a little bit of work as well with the Faceless Void, as he does have the increased attack speed offered by the very common build of the Treads into Mask of Madness. So we'll see if this ends up being a safe lane Faceless Void. In that case, it'll probably be in the hands of Mantis. Otherwise, it could be in the off lane on the stand-in Tomash, or even in the hands of Wadafaka, who does play in the mid and probably will pick up this Death Prophet, but not sure how the roles will be swapped around with this stand-in for xGame KZ. They'll ban out the Vengeful Spirit, as Denial certainly does need a support. Venge is very good into Void. Shadow Demon does serve somewhat of the same purpose. He's able to disrupt the target in the Chronosphere, the allied target, or even perhaps the Faceless Void, and grab up a couple of illusions from that Void. He does work fairly well with the Nature's Prophet in terms of the split push as well as the Lycan, and is able to set up for some of Puck's toolkit as well as the Sprout for the NP. So I do like the pickup from Denial here with the Shadow Demon. They'll 5th ban the Mirana, so for obvious reasons, Mirana, pretty damn good core, can run in the offlane, can run in the safe lane, does synergize well with the Faceless Void. Roam those two around, you get a free arrow from the Chronosphere setup, and that does a hell of a lot of damage, and also adds a 5-second stun if coupled well with the Chronosphere. So somewhere near the end of the Chronosphere duration will continue to give the Void time to right click into that soloed out target. And so yeah, we will see what we round out the lineup here. xGame KZ gonna pick up a Slark here, so this will probably be off lane Faceless Void, and we do see Mantis pick up that Slark, so should be in the safe lane, folks. Gonna be an interesting one. Very greedy lineup from the side of Denial. We'll see if they can make it work for them. It may be a support Nature's Prophet, or jungle Nature's Prophet, I should say, with fucking Mad picking that up. So going to be very interesting to see how they lane this. Either way, will xGame KZ be able to punish them? Should be interesting to see if they have the capability to do so. Denial picking up that Beastmaster early, and then having to go back and relegate him to what's presumably a support role here, unless they have that Nature's Prophet in the jungle. And it looks like Funzy's going to pick up Beastmaster, so it probably will be an off-lane Beastmaster here, and he will find some farm. Beastmaster certainly a hero that benefits both from farm and levels. Getting up an early Blink Dagger, getting up that Roar early is very, very effective. And hopefully we don't have to watch the game with the overlay up. So we will hop in now for the side of Denial. This is JDL Season 4, guys. Europe Division 1. Very interesting game here. Funzy in the off lane on the Beastmaster. Going to pick up those boots first. He's got a ward. He's going to rotate already down to the Radiant Jungle and try and place a ward for a little bit of defensive vision and information for himself. In the mid lane, fucking Mad picking up the Lycan in the core role. Paris going to look to go perhaps towards the jungle. And we're going to have on the Nature's Prophet, and we're going to have Creo J picking up that Shadow Demon. And to round out the lineup for Denial, Joral in the 1 position, safe lane Puck. On the side of xGame KZ, Wadafaka in the safe lane on the Faceless Void. Tomash going to stand in the mid on this Death Prophet. And we're going to have Reeves as well as Equal picking up the Ogre Magi and the Ancient Apparition in the 4 and 5 roles, and Mantis picking up that off lane Slark. So it looks like we will see an aggressive try, very potent trio here from xGame KZ. They have the Fire Blast to set up into the Pounce, and the Ice Vortex to amplify all that damage, or even the Chilling Touch early on. One right click from each of them will certainly outweigh the amplified magical damage. So Chilling Touch, very good ability for obvious reasons early on, as Equal rotates up the mid, perhaps just to scout out if there's any roaming support behind this mid laner. Either way, things gonna get underway here in JDL Season 4, guys. Little bit of implications here as to the playoffs. We have Denial currently sitting in a tie in 4th place with Goomba Gaming at 7-7. And xGame is on the outside looking in 9th place at 3-5, but they haven't played many games to speak of, so they do have quite a bit of a ways to recover here, and they certainly are very capable of making top 4 as well. So important game for Denial. Equal and Reeves gonna rotate up in the top lane. Will they find out the puck here of Jor-El? They probably won't aggress onto him. He does skill that level 1 phase shift, so should be fairly survivable, but if they're able to bait it out into a pounce, he's got no illusory orb here, so even a stop cast from Reeves, or even throwing out that fire blast. There's the phase shift there, and it will be on cooldown for the next couple of seconds, but he should be just fine. Howell's gonna get popped to assist fucking Mad in the mid lane. He's gone for a 0-1-1 build thus far, so just helping with the right clicks, but he's gonna take some harass from this Crypt Swarm from Tomash, but already doing very well. 6-2 up in this lane, up against the 2-1 of the Death Prophet. So things going to stagnate for the moment. Will be an interesting safe lane matchup for the side of the Radiant. Wadafaka going to find a bunch of farm on this Void, however, as is Funzy on the Beastmaster. I do like a Void a little bit more with farm, but Beastmaster certainly capable of creating space and opportunity for his team in the mid game if given some time to farm, and there's no way that Wadafaka can really harass him out of the lane. He does have the PMS, the time lock will do a bunch of work, but the Beastmaster pretty tanky already. Even with boots first, he is sitting at 663 base HP. We do see the Shadow Demon in the mid lane, as well as Reeves on the Ogre Magi, and it looks like they'll just trade some harass for the time being. Reeves got boots first, so he can put a bit of harass into Creo J here, but Creo J's got a howl up for the time being, and Reeves will just chase him down to the low ground. We'll see if Paris looks to aggress onto this. Ignite gonna go out onto Creo J. A little bit of harass here, but this is gonna give time to the Puck to farm in the safe lane for the side of Denial. So something a little bit worrisome for xGame KZ, and they actually will go to contest the Nature's Prophets farm here for Paris, so that's gonna hamper his ability a little. Nice little right click last hit for Reeves onto that Treant, and he will continue to back off for the time being, but will soak some XP from the low ground. So things going very well thus far for xGame. Void sitting at 9-2 up against the 14-3 of the Beastmaster, so Funzy doing well. The Puck has also picked up some steam here, 6-0 up against Mantis's 11-2 in Denial's safe lane. We'll use the orb to farm and to harass Mantis here. Has found level 3 and almost level 4 here, so perhaps we'll pick up a level in that Waning Rift, and that'll make him a little more survivable with the silence, as Reeves is still towards the mid lane and is clearing up at the moment. So 2-on-2 in this safe lane at the moment for the side of Denial. Wadafaka 10-2 on this Void. Has found a little bit of farm, can pick up his boost. There's a TP in the bot lane, however, and it was cancelled by Paris on that Nature's Prophet. So just a little bit of intimidation factor there. Jor-El rotating down below Equal. He's going to phase shift and orb upwards and should be just fine. Pounce not used there, just the Dark Pack used. 1-1-1 build opted for by Mantis. Can pick up his boots if he wants them at this point, but shouldn't really need them with the ability to pounce in the safe lane and the support of his supports standing nearby. So he will chase Jor-El a bit out of lane. Pounce not going to latch, and it's not going to be phase shifted as well. So good game sets there from Jor-El, knowing the range of the Pounce, knowing the trajectory of it, and doesn't waste his phase shift. If he uses it there, he will get hit with a Fire Blast, and perhaps is killable in that manner. Wadafaka put quite a bit of harass into Funzy. Looks like he used a time walk there. He did, and got a couple of bashes, but Funzy just going to be fine at this point. Is tangoing up. And there is first blood found in the top lane, so apologies for missing that. Either way, looks like the orb was used perhaps to farm by Jor-El. Just did come off cooldown, so it wasn't used to escape. And they do punish him here. Take a look at the fight recap. Fire Blast, couple of Ice Vortexes, the Pounce also landing. And we do see Jor-El fall in the top lane. And we see that Equal on the Ancient Apparition was the one to pick up that kill. Take a look at the mid lane matchup for the time being. We do have Tomash on the Death Prophet, 19, 20, and 4 now, up against the 23 and 5 of Fucking Mad. So Fucking Mad doing well. Disruption in the mid lane. Shapeshift is used, poured in from Paris as well. A few more right clicks. Tomash going to go down. A nice return kill for the side of Denial. They get it on the hero they exactly wanted. So the first Shapeshift used is to great success here, but on the high ground we do have Mantis rotating in with Reeves as well. Fucking Mad's gonna scout this out. Fire Blast is gonna go out onto Creo J. Mantis not gonna be there for a pounce quite yet, but Fucking Mad rotating up to the high ground. There's Chilling Touch here as well as the Cold Feet. That's gonna proc Dark Pact. One more right click from Reeves, gonna bring down the Lycan. Nice return kill going the way of xGame. They rotate everyone over from the safe lane, and they do find a very high worth kill, 200 experience going towards each of the 3 members of that safe lane, and they will posture up in this mid lane for the time being. Jor-El is finding some farm on this puck in the off lane, sitting at 900 gold, as well as his Null Talisman has found a Belt of Giant Strength on his way to his treads here. We will see Mantis and Tomash rotate up towards the rune. Mantis perhaps back towards this safe lane. We will see Equal rotating down towards the bot lane. He's going to run into Funzy here. There's an Ice Vortex available as well as a Time Mock. Chronosphere going to be used. He's going to have the Cold Feet proc as well. That's going to do quite a bit of damage. The Roar is used, but it will be just enough time to rotate Funzy back out. And that will be on cooldown for the next 80 seconds or so. So nice little cooldown baited out by the side of xGame KZ, but they use their Chronosphere to no avail. And we will see Equal place a nice high ground ward for some vision in this dire off lane, and they will be able to see any rotations to aggress onto Wadafaka, which are certainly possible now that he has used the Chronosphere here. And he will get a nice bash. 2 bashes here. Fire Blast, Ignite also available. Not even going to need to use the Fire Blast. Very economic play from the side of xGame. Wadafaka taking some harass. Here's the Nature's Prophet. One right click from Paris. Going to bring him down. There's no mana for a Fire Blast from Reeves, but he'll just TP out in the face of the Nature's Prophet. Either way, very nice return kill for Paris there. He finds a high priority target in the Void. Is going to find 600 plus XP on this Nature's Prophet. Does have 3 Null Talismans already, so he is pretty much ready to fight at this point. Already at 910 HP, as well as hitting for 98 damage per right click. And Paris looking pretty good on this Nature's Prophet. Has found 26 last hits, so keeping up with Mantis in the off lane for xGame from the jungle. And we do see things stagnate for the time being. Fucking Mad is a little bit on his way to that Vlad's. Can pick up the Morbid Mask now if he elects to do so. He does have the Bassi up as well as his bottles, so is looking pretty good out of that mid lane, leading the CS charts. Reeves is available from the tree line. The Dark Pact going to be used here by Mantis. No phase shift going to be baited out from the side of Jor-El, and they don't take advantage of the fact that Jor-El is under the tower. But over in the Radiant jungle, we just see a barely TPing out Death Prophet for the side of Tomash. They're not able to pick him off here, so good game sense from him, knowing that there aren't many disables on the side of Denial, aside from the Roar and the Dream Coil, which are pretty much big team fight ults. There is the Disruption to cancel TPs, but probably was used fairly early on in that engagement, if at all. And we will see down to the bot lane. Couple of boars here from Funzy. Gonna aggress onto the lane here, establish a little bit of lane control and some harass in the top lane. Not much doing. Jor-El finding some farm. 35 CS on that puck. Mantis is in the mid lane now. Tomash has level 3 Witchcraft, so probably will wait perhaps for one more level until he pops that Exorcism. Ward is going to be scouted out by Mantis using that Shadow Dance passive, and they will know that there is vision on the high ground here for the side of Denial, so well played there from Mantis on xGame. KZ treads PMS, picked up by the Void here. He does have the Chronosphere in tow and at the ready for the next engagement. Vlad's now picked up by Lycan for Fucking Mad, so he's looking very good, almost level 9 on this Lycan. He is pretty much tied at the top of the board with most of the cores in the game. Beastmaster and Slark sitting at level 7 and 6 respectively. Mantis has rotated around the map quite a bit, so that has hampered his ability to farm a little bit here. Treads are going to be picked up by Paris. Funzy is going to rotate over into the Dire jungle. They don't have an observer ward here, but the Boar and the Hawk going to scout out Mantis, and this Hawk is going to be pesky, disabling that Shadow Dance passive, but Mantis does find it there with a Dark Pact, and he will clean it up. TP's into the top lane from Paris. Coil's going to be committed here. Wrath of Nature as well. Fire Blast and the Ignite going out. Chronosphere onto, however, by Wadafaka. Reeves going to be able to rotate out. Crypt Swarm going to clean up the puck here. Paris going to try and TP out. Will he get a bash? He does not. Ice Blast going to come through from Equal. Is going to be late. And not going to do much there. Disruption out from Creo J. He's going to be chased down by Tomash here and should go down, but he actually backs off. And he does find a last right click there for the DP. Not sure how he got vision for that moment. Either way, we do see fucking Matt, I should say, taking down the tier 1 in the mid lane. So not a terrible trade for the side of Denial. They do lose 2 in the top lane. Chronosphere was committed, but they find a tower in the mid lane. Looks like they're going to rotate into Roche here. Paris with the Treants. We got fucking Mad with his Vlads and his Wolves at the ready. And this should be a fairly easy Roche, taking away that access point from xGame KZ, very timely manner to go into the Roche pit, as that tier 1 tower has been eliminated now. And this will drop pretty fast despite the absence of a medallion for the side of Denial. So things looking good for them early game. And in terms of the metrics, they do have a slight gold lead and a slight deficit in experience, but that Roshan going to help them recover quite a bit and gives them a nice boost of 1,000 gold to the team. In the meantime, Wadafaka farming in the top lane. He should find his Morbid Mask from the side shop in just a moment if he elects to go for that Mask of Madness here. And we'll find a right click. Paris going to look to defend up top lane here. We may see an aggression bot lane. 4-man smoke. They're going to find Joral, but he's able to get out in the tree line and does not phase shift before the jaunt though. Fire Blast going to hit him. Pounce as well. Crypt Swarm and Mantis with a last right click. Gonna finish off that puck here. A little bit of a misplay from Joral. Don't know if that phase shift was on cooldown at the time. Either way, Medallion picked up here for the Beastmaster for the side of Denial. So that'll accelerate their Roche if need be thereafter. And also be able to help them bring down the target of the Roar here. Ice Blast gonna fly out from the Ancient Apparition. Not gonna find much here. But the Medallion also synergizes well with the physical damage of the Wild Axes. Exorcism is popped in the bottom lane. Hawk going to be taken out, or Boar I should say, by that Fire Blast. And they are actually going to seem to back off. They're going to wait for the wave here. Will we see an engagement from the side of Denial? Doesn't look like they're too willing to get into this. And it looks like Tamash will back off as well for the side of xGame. Mantis going to pounce to the low ground. Should be just fine for the time being. In the meantime, split push. Fucking Mad going to take out his second tower of the game. Paris actually going to pick up that last hit there. 2,100 gold on this Lycan. And he can build quickly into a Basher or a Necro Book if he opts to do that. He looks to be split pushing thus far. Paris going to TP into the trees right into the face of Reeves. And Reeves will juke around the trees and will not see him just for the moment. Will jump out, look for the Fire Blast. Going to get roared up. Wild Axe, Illusory Orb. One more right click. And the Waning Rift committed as well from Joral. He's going to get caught with a Dark Pact though and a Pounce. A few more right clicks. He should drop as well. Mantis dropping pretty low with that Medallion up. Tomash going to try and TP out in the face of the Beastmaster as well as the Nature's Prophet. But Mantis going to man up against the NP here. The NP will bring him down. And a nice 3 for 1 I should say. Ancient Apparition going down I believe in the top lane. But 2 drop in the bottom lane. The use of that Roar on the Ogre, stopping him from casting that Fire Blast, and they'll bring him down. Tomash did TP out there and leave Slark to the dogs. However, he probably could have finished off Paris if he stayed, but would have probably committed his own life, so I can't say I really judge the decision there to TP out. Either way, very nice trade in the bot lane for Denial. They've taken out all 3 tier 1s of the side of xGame already, and all of their tier 1s, despite having the Exorcism on the side of xGame, at about half HP or more. Looking good in both the top and mid lanes, just below half in the off lane here, which is certainly their least important tower. Ice Blast gonna hit on Paris on the way, or Joral I should say, on the puck on the way through, but doesn't hit him on the landing, so not gonna be too hurt by that one, and does have 1,800 gold on this puck. Well on the way to the Blink Dagger here. Paris going to TP into the bot lane. Funzy is there with Aurora. Wild Axes as well. Only a matter of a time, and we do see Reeves go down. He'll get off a Glancing Blow with the Ignite there, but the Medallion helping jump forward in the mid lane. Exorcism committed as well. Nice defensive disruption here by the Shadow Demon. Waning Rift goes out from Joral. He'll phase shift for the moment. One bash though would be enough from Wadafaka. Tomash going to go down to fucking Mad, however. He's going to find the Void as well. Double kill for the Lycan and looking to chase down the Ancient Apparition, who is TPing out on the high ground from Qual. And Equal gonna make that out. But 2 for 1, 3 for 1 in the mid lane, 3 for 1 across the map, 2 for 1 in the mid lane. Ogre going down bottom. Void and Death Prophet committed for the off lane or the safe lane puck of Denial, but he hasn't farmed particularly well on Joral, so isn't a huge priority target. And the Void and Death Prophet certainly are. Paris going to TP to the high ground here, spawn a wave of treants, and they will go into this mid lane tower. Tier 2 with relative ease here. There's no Exorcism or Chronosphere available, and they're well aware of that. Roar is up in 15 seconds. Exorcism down for 90. Chronosphere down for 75. Paris going to use a Zoning Sprout here. Disruption is out onto Mantis, and that will stave off the aggression from xGame. They're going to have to TP everyone into this mid lane, and it looks like everyone should make it out for the side of Denial, and that certainly is the case here. So, not willing to throw their advantage at this point. Their Lycan on fucking Mad farming very well. He's got his Necro 3 in the base, and already 15 minutes into the game, in excess of 5k leads generated both in experience and net worth for the side of Denial. They're looking very good in this early game. Funzy farmed well out of that mid lane. He's got the Boots of Travel up, so he can port into his Hawk as he pleases, and will have quite a bit of global presence on this map. Mantis in the mid lane, gonna pop that Dark Pack, a little worried about being aggressed on, and does want to purge any disables that come his way. Fucking Mad just gonna throw some intimidation towards him though, and does have his Necro book ferried over now, which is a Necro 3. Was a Necro 3 at the time I mentioned it, but is a Necro 3 now. And we'll have quite a bit of push power on this Lycan. Able to bring down these towers very quick with the Howl, and we will see a Hawk fly towards mid lane to find out anyone it can. TPs to the top lane by the Shadow Demon for Creo J, and very smart decision. He's going to wait in the tree island, try and bait out a solo Chronosphere on this puck here from Wadafaka. He's going to think better of it though. He doesn't have this Mask of Madness quite yet. He has opted for a Wraith Band, so it doesn't really have the solo kill potential. He does have the help of Equal rotating in with that Ice Blast, however, and he will jump in, but Creo J, waiting in the wings, is going to find the disruption here. Ice Blast not going to land as well. Very well phase shift. Waning Rift, Illusory Orb, couple right clicks, and the Coil going to bring down the Faceless Void, and Wadafaka not having a good game with these Chronospheres so far. Very nice pick is the Shadow Demon. Easy return kill for the side of Denial, and with this Faceless Void down for 30 seconds, he does not have buyback available. They're going to aggress onto this tier 2 in the bot lane with a wave of Treants and the Howl and the units from fucking Mad. He's not going to commit his Necros just quite yet, as there is going to be quite a defense mounted here, and they do have 2 heroes in the top lane for the side of Denial, so they're not going to get too overzealous, and they will back off for the time being, continue to farm. They do have the Roar available, but perhaps they need Funzy to have a blink for the side of Denial here, and will be some dewarding from the side of xGame, but Mantis going to make himself a little bit vulnerable here. However, Funzy a little bit out of range for that Roar. They will have Joral on the puck, join them in the bot lane. Creo still pushing out top wave at the moment, and perhaps we'll look to split push. There is the Faceless Void here. Does he have a TP for Wadafaka? He does. 35 seconds until Chronosphere still, and Denial are well aware of this, so they will aggress into the bot lane tower. Howl, Shapeshift Pop, Roar out onto Reeves. Wild Axes, Illusory Orb, Raining Whiff, and the Ice Blast is going to hit on Funzy. He will die to a few right clicks here, but in the back lines, work being done by fucking Mad. They've picked off both the Ogre and the Ancient Apparition, and it looks like Shadow Dance going to be popped by Mantis. Nice phase blink out by the puck here. Fucking Mad going to go into Mantis, who will pounce to the low ground. The Void not going to find anyone, it seems. He's going to get a few bashes into Paris, however, may not be able to pick him off, though, as the Waning Rift spells his demise. He does have a buyback on the Faceless Void available now, but this could spell high ground for Denial here, and they choose to back off with their Beastmaster down. Tomash still having the Exorcism up. They do have a pretty good high ground defense. Perhaps they can rotate into Roshan. He's now respawned. This is a level 2 Roshan, so no cheese quite yet for Denial. Paris will rotate to the top lane, continue to push that out and keep the pressure up on the side of xGame, so they have that to worry about pushing in, and probably can't contest Roshan if they choose to do it here. And fucking Mad will rotate into the Roche pit for the time being. He's sitting at 12k net worth, doubled up the 1 position on xGame at the moment, and we take a look at the metrics. Already a 10k gold and experience lead for the side of Denial. This is huge here. Actually, they do find Paris in the top lane, so A lot of committal here. Exorcism is used, 821 damage from that Death Prophet, and the Ice Blast seemingly all they needed with the Euls. Roshan going to drop in the meantime. They're going to look to trade the tier 1 top lane, but there are TPs from actually only the Puck from the side of Denial, so they're not ready to mount a defense here, and they will trade over that tier 1, but smoke towards the bot lane. They do have Funzy in the front lines with a Roar, and this could be a dead Void here for the side of xGame. There is the Roar here. Shapeshift already used. They do have the Demonic Purge. He won't be able to get out from this one. Demonic Purge going to pop. Creo J going to find the kill there. And Puck even going to find a kill on Equal. Solo kill with the Howl usage. Dream Coil going to pop onto Reeves. He's going to get a Fire Blast. Ignite going to be phase shifted. He's going to look to chase down Joral here, but going to have to back off and defend bot lane. Necro 3 units are available. Wild Axe is going to clear out the wave. Treant's available here too. Eul Scepter going to be used to dodge the Sprout by Tomash. He will be able to back off. He's going to get disrupted up for the time being. And the Glyph will be popped here. Faceless Void down for another 16 seconds. No buyback available on him. Pounce forward by Mantis, however, onto Funzy. He's going to get sprouted up, though. Ice Blast is going to come out and connect onto Funzy. He might shatter here. Howl is going to be popped. Going to sound the retreat from the side of Denial. Will the Beastmaster shatter? It doesn't look like that will be the case. He should be just fine. Funzy going to TP back to base. Nothing lost for the side of the Denial. They do eliminate the tier 3 in the bottom lane for xGame, and things getting scarier and scarier for xGame, especially in the form of fucking Mads Lycan, who does now have Aegis and the plate mail, so perhaps building into that AC, and probably is the most likely choice. That will help with the push as well as chopping down some of these supports. He should be able to 2 or 3 shot this Ancient Apparition in shapeshifted form. And 12k net worth lead in excess of 10k experience lead generated here. Paris been pretty quiet on this Nature's Prophet, 1, 1, and 10. So a lot of assists, has been involved in 11 of his team's 14 kills. So has been all over the map. Not made any huge plays, but has picked up this blink and is going to be able to have a lot of split push with the Howl for his units here. And he will be safe in this top lane for the time being. Going to TP down, join his team bot lane. Does he have the Sprout here for Mantis? Will blink forward. He's going to body block him up. Well played by him. Pounce not going to be quite to the low ground. Fucking Mad going to pick up that last hit there. And the Slark is down for the full duration here. He does have only 130 gold, so a bit of a bummer there for him until buyback. And he will not be able to have it to mount this defense against the Raxes, but fucking Mad just going to walk up to the high ground. He's going to bait out the Exorcism here. It looks like Denial will back off for the duration of that. The Necro unit going to be cleaned up. 200 gold going the way of Tomash. He will take a little bit of harass, but in the meantime, tier 2 in the top lane is going to go down here to the duo of Paris and Funzy. Paris going to pick up that last hit on the Nature's Prophet. And they did bait out the Exorcism from Tomash, which is now about down. 3 or 4 seconds left on that duration. And they can just regroup and walk up high ground here. So well played from Denial. Very patient play from them. Going to bait that out. Void is up in 20 seconds, as is the Chronosphere here. So they can mount some sort of defense. But fucking Mad just standing on the high ground with this Aegis still available as the battering ram. Mantis going to come out with the Dark Back. Going to try and clean up the Wolves. He gets 1. And there will be half HP still left. They are split pushing, however. Fire Blast into Funzy in the top lane. He's got the Roar. It's actually down for another 15 seconds. Cold Feet. Ice Blast going to hit as well. Nice defensive disruption, however. And Ice Blast going to be dodged there. So Creo J looking very good on this Shadow Demon thus far. Shapeshift popped in the bot lane. Fucking Mad trying to chase down the Death Prophet, but won't be successful in doing so. Shadow Dance popped here. Dream Coil. They're going to find the Chronosphere on Joral. Puck will go down, as will fucking Mad's Aegis here. So nice Chronosphere by Wadafaka. Will be able to pick off the Lycan, it seems. He will pop the Necros and man up. Howl into Mantis here. Silence, however, onto fucking Mad. Time walk back from Wadafaka. Funnick going to be able to, or Funzy going to be able to, Funnick. He is a Beastmaster, I guess. Funzy going to be able to pick off the Ancient Apparition, who immediately buys back. Fucking Mad turning tail and running. He's going to get hit with the Pounce. Sprout is going to try and zone out the Slark here, but a couple Bash Lords, and he's actually going to bring down the Slark with his units. They're going to finish off fucking Mad here, but at what cost? Nature's Prophet from Paris going to blink in with the Mask of Madness, trying to bring down the Void here. Will TP forward. He's going to be a little bit short, however. And a little bit of a miscalculation there, but there's no mana on this Void, and if he clicks on them, he will know that. He will TP forward right into his face, so Wadafaka going to look to do the only thing he can, and that's man up. And he just gets the Mask of Madness off a little too late. However, tier 3 eliminated in the top lane. No Rax actually eliminated, so pretty successful defense for the side of xGame. They do use a buyback on the Ancient Apparition. Did they use one on anyone else? No. So very nice defense from them. A little bit of poor focus fire from the side of Denial. Both of these racks were about at 30%. If they focus either one of them, it's going to go down here. This is going to regen as well. So they make the mistake of using fucking Mad in the front lines onto this racks rather than the range racks, which does not regenerate. So sad times for the side of Denial here, but regardless, still a very nice advantage for them. 12k experience, and the side of the duo of Joral and Paris are able to pick off the Ancient Apparition once again. So Equal not having the best game. Taking a look at the KDA, 1 and 5 and 3 on this Ancient Apparition. Top 3 members of the net worth chart owned by Denial, and they're looking very good. 15k lead for them. Joral does have his blink, waning rift at the ready for Mantis, but doesn't have any support here. He's actually going to blink forward, just a little bit of harass, going to jaunt out, will be just fine for the time being. But intimidation shout towards Mantis. He's going to regen up with that shadow dance, so a little bit of a waste of mana from Joral there, but Wrath of Nature going to come through. They're going to know there's a cliff ward available here, as it does hit on those 3 heroes, and as well they have the shadow dance disabled in that area. Necrobook's picked up as well by Funzy here, so he's not going to opt for that blink. Interesting decision from him. I really would have liked to see that blink, but double Necro units up, and they're just going to accelerate the push even further for the side of Denial, and they should be able to bring down these structures the next time they go in. Pounce is going to land onto Joral, and he's used the phase shift early without the orb, so he will drop here. Wadafaka going to find the last hit. A little bit of a misplay from Joral. Immediate smoke from the side of xGame, and they will look to find someone top lane, perhaps a rotating in Nature's Prophet, but it doesn't look like that'll be the case. That'll be the case at the moment. Roshan going to be pinged out by Paris here, but is not even going to be spawning potentially for at least a minute and 5 seconds or so at this point, and we will see the Hawk being scouted out by Wadafaka and scouting out the Roche pit at the moment. So both teams will see Roshan not up yet. And if they're diligent about keeping their timers, they should know the minimum spawn time is about 50 seconds from now. So nothing much to find there. Joral will be responding in 5 seconds. Has his Yules and his Blink and 1,000 gold. So perhaps he goes for a Blink. Jump though forward. Hex onto Wadafaka has been picked up by Paris. He's going to BKB. He'll get roared though. He's got the medallion here. A few more right clicks will bring him down. Shapeshift committed here. Ice Blast going to hit on 2 from Ekal, but going to be a little late. Multicast out onto fucking Mad Mantis going to TP under the cover of Shadow Dance. So well played by him, but he's already used that ultimate. And they're going to blink forward, looking for Tomash here, but the Hex is down for another 10 seconds. Big pickup for Paris there, finds a kill onto this Faceless Void, who does not have buyback because of 320 gold short. Double Necro units pop, blink forward, Dream Coil onto Reeves, Medallion going to be popped as well. Cold Feet though, Eul Scepter going to be able to dodge that, but they'll bring him down with a Crypt Swarm. Joral getting a little bit overzealous. They do bring down the Raxus here. They're going to need some return kills for the side of xGame. They'll find one on Creo J, but on the high ground, everyone TPing away. Yules is able to get Funzy up, and they will find in the back lines Creo's Shadow Demon as well as Funzy's Beastmaster here, and 3 down for the side of Denial there. They do bring down the Void very early, so 3 for 1, and they do get a priority target in the Void. They lose Beastmaster, their Puck, and their Shadow Demon, but they came for the objectives, and the Raxus finally eliminated 28 minutes into the game. For the side of xGame KZ, they're down a lane, but they do find quite a bit on the way out. As you can see, the graph spiking back in their favor, but still in excess of 10k leads, both experience and net worth for the side of Denial. And we have seen Mantis recover quite well here. He does have his Senj and Yasha up, as well as 3,400 gold on the Slark. Gonna find an invisibility rune, which is nice for a solo pick here, but you won't be able to find it on Joral, who is just as elusive as he is on the Slark, but he does see the orb used there and will look to find a Pounce. He's going to be a little short, and he'll think better of it. TP's in the top lane, though, from Paris. He will Hex up the Ogre Magi, and Ancient Apparition going to get chopped down. Sprout actually going to trap in fucking Mad, so the Cold Feet will proc here. Chronosphere going to be used, as well as the Fire Blast. Nice defensive disruption. Roar into Wadafaka as well. He doesn't have the Time Walk here. He's going to pop the BKB a little late. He will drop here. Fucking Mad is being aggressed on by Mantis, but a nice body block from Creo J for the time being. He's going to earn and bottle up, and he will get right back into fighting shape. Will Mantis be able to bring him down? No, he won't. Fucking Mad gonna man up here. And Funzy, as well as the Nature's Prophet going to chase down to Mash here, but triple kill going the way of fucking Mad. Instant buyback from Mantis. They should be able to bring down this Rex. There's no glyph available. Necro units will finish the job. Gonna get cleaned up shortly thereafter, but a few more right clicks from the Treants. They're gonna bring down the range racks as well. That's 2 lanes of racks, 30 minutes in for Denial, so it takes them 20 minutes to crack bot lane, but within 2 minutes of that, they find a nice engagement top. Paris has been doing work since picking up that side of the Vice. That garners them 2 very nice engagements, one in the bot lane, picking off that Void. In the top lane, they pick off the Ancient Apparition early on, and they are able to keep fucking Mad up with the defensive disruption and the Roar. Although they were overlapped, they do deter the aggression from the Chronosphere, and they bring down the Faceless Void. Wadafaka just hasn't gotten much out of this BKB. They do have the medallion to deal with it. It's now at 8 seconds, so shorter duration for that, and he's not going to be as survivable. But as I said, Roar does penetrate the magical immunity. Medallion does as well, and there's so much physical damage from the side of Denial. Speaking of physical damage, Desolator now picked up as well for Paris' Nature's Prophet. He's going to be hitting extremely hard. Midas was a very good pickup for him. He's now got 3 tier 2 items. And it looks like xGame perhaps going to try and look to find something early, but there's no ultimate here. They're going to roar out onto Reeves. Easy first kill. Ice Blast is going to jump out. Chronosphere is going to whiff on everyone. It's actually going to catch the Slark. And BKB popped here from the Void. He may be able to bring down fucking Mad with the help of the Exorcism. They do find him, but that's just an Aegis. Equal going to go down. The Void going to go down as well. And it looks like everyone going to die except Mantis. From the side of xGame, they'll call the GG here. Mantis did find Krioche in the backlines. Jump forward, Waning Rift. Illusory Orb will finish him off before the game ends. Very convincing game 1 from the side of Denial. They'll go to 8 and 7. That gives them the outright position in 4th place. So they are now into the finals as it stands, sitting at 8 and 7. Very well played from them. Standout play from fucking Mad in the mid lane on the Lycan, as well as Paris on that Nature's Prophet out of the jungle. And Denial looking very good in game 1 up against xGame KZ. This is JDL Season 4 Europe Division 1, guys. That'll drop xGame to 3 and 6 in 9th place. And we should have the second game starting very soon. So thank you guys for joining me. I am Morris Peasy, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV JDL Season 4. And that was game 1 of a best of 2. So we will have game 2 coming up fairly shortly. Thanks for joining us, guys. GG. See you soon.